All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol HYLN, Hyliion Holdings Corp, also known as previously before the merger, SHLL, Tortoise Acquisition Inc. Before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, and to all my subscribers, welcome back. So let's jump into this chart. Hyliion actually had a run and it broke through the 50-day moving average, reaching newer highs. So there was a wedge forming, but it hadn't just hit that point yet. It actually hit it today, beginning of the day, and also there was a lot of great news yesterday in the afternoon, and a lot of people were feeling bullish. So for all you guys that commented and felt bullish and commented about the outlooks in their positions, I really appreciate that. You guys are, going the extra mile, being bold and stepping up to the plate and saying, hey, this is what's going on. This is what I'm in, and this is how I feel. Obviously every investor should do their due diligence, do their research, but I really appreciate that when you guys, take the time to actually comment, watch the video, and put your insights as well. So let's go ahead and move this to their new locations. And our resistance level and support has slightly changed. And right now we are in a new higher level. Now, this is not stating that there's a recovery yet. I would want to see the bulls to break through this resistance and reach newer highs so that we can start saying, okay, there's a slight recovery. This could be back on the upward trend as long as the bulls continue the momentum. I don't want this to actually end up saying, oh, well, there's a trend here, and then tomorrow quickly there's a sell-off and people are taking profits. There's uncertainty. There's that fear again. So we need to watch this closely for the next coming days. So let's go ahead and put these exactly at their new locations. This is one of the lowest points in the leveling off before the bullish run. And then here we are with our resistance level, the highest points reached, and there was a rejection there twice within the same 1 hour time frame. So that's important as well to keep in mind. Right now it's at 29.01 and the 50-day moving average is 28.17. I'd write that down. Super important number. That lets us know on what side of the chart we're in, and we're slightly in bullish territory. Now, if it crosses down and it ends up below it, we would end up in bearish territory. Right now, the bulls are trying to dominate this, and for them to continue this run, continue this momentum, and reach newer highs and get further away from the 50-day moving average in an upward direction, they need to break through resistance. Resistance is 29.45. By breaking through 29.45, the bulls could be on their way to newer highs, turn that into a support, and break away to hit new resistance levels and move further away from the 50-day moving average in an upward direction. So I'd pay very close attention to how that's reacting and if the bulls are able to accomplish that so they can continue this momentum. If they hang out sideways, this 50-day moving average can quickly catch up to the price and change this trajectory of this chart back into bearish territory by default. So that's something to keep in mind and keep a close eye on. On the other hand, we have what the bears want, and I want to emphasize this to every single investor. If it crosses the 50-day moving average, I'd pay very close attention to what's going on. How quickly is this moving to newer lows, and is it kind of hanging out there, and is there a chance for the bulls to reappear and bring this one back up into bullish territory? Because the moment it crosses this, now it's in bearish territory, and if it gets closer to this support level or breaks through it, that just means that the bears are dominating the chart again. They started taking over, and they're going to pull away as far as they can from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction. So I'd pay very close attention to the behavior before it even crosses the support and look at it way up here in the 50-day moving average area. See how it's hanging out, and if it continues to break down through newer lows and newer support levels and it gets to 27.45 and it actually breaks through it, that's where I really want to emphasize. Pay very close attention to the behavior of this stock and what is going on with the charts, who's dominating it, who is actually taking domination over the inflow and the outflow of the chart, and how many red candlesticks are appearing, how many are green, and put your 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute charts so you can monitor and see what's going on for that time period. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Share this with your friends and community. Don't forget to hit the like button, let me know you watched this video, and click on the bell so that you can turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money. At the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video, and I go into detail about the S&P 500 index and how it's been rising up several points on scheduled dates. What happens on those scheduled dates, which are the dates that I circled here on the chart and we're going to see for ourselves? Well, the S&P 500 index rises up several points, and by doing so, they're bringing up several ticker symbols, not all of them, but most of them, up with them. And these ticker symbols are rising up 30 cents to $3 per share. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but per share, that does add up. And one thing I am really big on is profits. If you put $1 into the market and you get out with $2, you've made profits. You've done what the whole purpose of being in the market is for, to maximize profits and minimize losses. And with the Federal Reserve pumping the markets on these scheduled dates, bringing the S&P 500 index up also brings up individual ticker symbols with them. And again, 30 cents to $3 may not sound like a lot of profit per share, but that does add up. And like I say, profits are profits. So we're going to look here at some of the dates so that you guys can see what I talk about in the video. And it's a weekly series. I wouldn't want you guys to miss out on it. Definitely click on the video as it pops up at the end of the video and check it out. But here we are with one of the first pumps in the scheduled dates pumps. So the first one, since the last time that they had released this, they released this on September 14th, and the next one's coming up on October 14th, which is like a week from now. And on the 15th, they scheduled it. And as you can see, this is the 14th, and the 15th is this big green bar, and it rose up. So on the 14th, we were at around 33.84, and it rose up to 34.20. I mean, that's 40 points risen on the S&P 500 index, and that's creating that catalyst for individual ticker symbols to rise up 30 cents to $3. We're going to look at another one here, and the next one was on September 22nd. And here we are on the 21st, after falling from that last pump, and the market had been falling, and you could see that there is volatility on every single day of the market before the dates of the pumps, but on the dates of the pumps are the days that the most green happens, for the most part. Not every time, but for the most part. But on the 21st, which was a Monday, it was rising up, and it rose up to this point here. And the next one was the 22nd. So this is the last 21st candlestick, and this is the first 22nd candlesticks. And we were at 32.70. This one rose up all the way up here to this point right here. This was the last 22nd candlestick to 33.19. I mean, if we go back, we were at 32.70, 33.19. That's almost 50-point jump here for the S&P 500 index. And again, individual ticker symbols rose up with it, and it created that catalyst a little bit before the anticipation, and on that date it rose up. Now on this next pump, which was a little bit different, there was a catalyst formed beforehand, and it rose up to these highs on the 28th of about 33.59. It actually dipped on the date of the next pump, which we see it here, which was on the 29th of September, and the next one was on the 6th, which just happened yesterday, and it actually slightly dipped. Now, not every time is these pumps going to rise up the market like we've seen here by a lot of points, but it still rises it back up or levels it off from hitting newer lows and leveling off the market itself. Because if we look at the previous notes that I did beforehand, it was actually rising up with it. The volatility was there, but you were able to buy, like for example, how we bought here on the 15th and it rose up. Well, it's been falling and then very volatile here, up and down. Beforehand, you can buy at the beginning of the scheduled pump dates and hold a couple weeks and ride out several pumps, and you were going on your way up. But right now, even as the market's going down, it's a great opportunity to take advantage of the fact that the Federal Reserve is pumping the markets and there's an opportunity to make profits. So here we are on the 29th, and it fell to lows of 33.28, and it rose up to these highs here of 33.49. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's still a 20-point jump after dipping and recovering, and then it continued to work its way up to newer highs. Now here on the 6th, which on the 5th it started to rise, it leveled off. This is the last candlestick of the 5th coming up right now, and we're about to see it here. Yes, this is the last candlestick of the 5th, and it rose up, and all the way to the last candlestick of the 6th, it rose up another 20 points. I mean, we're down here and it ended up around here. So right now, something I'm noticing is that these pumps are creating less of an effect on the market, but it's creating that upward direction from falling to newer lows, but it's still helping the market rise up. And even though the S&P 500 index is rising several points, there are individual ticker symbols rising up, like I said, 30 cents to $3. Check out the video. I go into more detail. I don't want you guys to miss out on this great information. Click on it, and thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.